After seeing what is happening around the world, last year it was in Bangladesh where a massive uprising overthrew the government in power. A few weeks ago, it was in Nepal where another massive uprising overthrew the government in power. And now it is the turn of Madagascar. They've been protesting the past few weeks, and it seems they have reached the point of no return. Their soldiers have joined in the protests. This is their military men addressing the nation, urging the police, the gendarmes, and other security agencies to stop shooting at their compatriots. They should stop shooting at their brothers and sisters. These people are simply demanding a better life. They are not violent in any way. Why should soldiers be crushing them? Real soldiers everywhere are obligated not to obey illegal orders. When a commanding officer or a politician orders soldiers to go and shoot at protesters, that should be considered an illegal order. Therefore, real soldiers should never obey them. Yes, it happens everywhere. As you can see in Madagascar, the soldiers have joined the protesters instead of shooting at them. This is what Nigerian soldiers must emulate. Yes, why do they always attack protesters who are unarmed? These people are demanding for a better life for their people. And when you hear the people, it includes soldiers, police, even the politicians. It means the country will start to work for everyone. So why do they always attack protesters in Nigeria? Now, to those who don't know what started this protest, you might not believe it. The people started to protest because of lack of water and electricity. There have been shortages of these services. So you can imagine what we don't protest for in Nigeria. But in small Madagascar, they are protesting for water and electricity shortages. And this man here, the president who is currently on the run, there are rumors that he ran for shelter at the French embassy in Madagascar. He's now claiming that the military want to remove him from power after they disobeyed the legal order to shoot directly at protesters, which is the right thing to do. Yes, the president can't just order military men to go and shoot at protesters. Protest is a normal thing that happens in a democracy. If you don't want protest, then resign or do the right thing to make sure that protest wouldn't happen at all. Yes. By the way, he negotiated with the protesters and they refused. He offered that if he doesn't fulfill what they want, that's provide the water and electricity in the next 1 year, then he will resign. But the protesters refused because he's been in power for 10 years. So he knew that it was possible to provide these services in under 1 year, and he failed to provide them the past 10 years. So the people could see through his lies that he just wants to remain in power without delivering the services. You can't eat your cake and have it. You want to answer the president, but you don't want to do the job of the president. How is that possible? Meanwhile, Rajolina, the president of Madagascar, who is currently on the run, came to power through a popular uprising in 2009. In that 2009 popular uprising, the military actually backed him against the then president. But the worst happened after he came to power. He became worse than his predecessor. This was why people started agitating against him, services dropped, many things became worse. So it's not a surprise that the same thing he did to his predecessor is about to happen to him. He came to power through a popular uprising. Now, a popular uprising that the military backs is about to remove him from power, if not already happened, because news coming out from Madagascar says that the military is on the verge of seizing power because he's nowhere to be found.
Let's now head to Madagascar, where tension continues to rise in the island country, where President Andry Rajoelina says an attempted coup is underway. The crisis follows weeks of youth-led protests against corruption, economic hardship, and failing public services. Our reporter Finiko Watch looks at how frustrations on the street has spiraled into one of the country's deepest political tests in years.
It began as a street anger over power cuts and water shortages, but in just 2 weeks, the discontent across Madagascar has grown into open defiance and now a challenge to the president's rule. Thousands of young people calling themselves Generation Z Madagascar have taken to the streets of Antananarivo and other cities accusing the government of corruption, mismanagement and neglect. The protest soon gained a powerful new ally. Soldiers from the elite captured unit, once loyal to Rajoelina himself, the unit announced that they will not follow orders to suppress demonstrators and called on the entire army to disobey what they termed illegal commands. The president responded swiftly, warning of what he called an illegal and forcible seizure of power. His office insists Andry Rajoelina remains in control and accuses opportunists of exploiting the unrest. At least 22 people have been killed since the protest began. According to the UN, the violence has spread to more than 8 cities, deepening fears of instability in a country still scarred by past coups. To calm the situation, the president has dissolved his government, naming Army General Rufin Tsafisambo as his new prime minister in a bid to restore order. But for many young Malagasies, the crisis runs deeper than leadership changes. They see it as a fight for dignity and a break from years of political recycling and iniquity. With elite soldiers rebelling and protests refusing to die down, Madagascar now stands at a crossroads between reform and another painful chapter of military intervention. For now, President Rajoelina insists is still in charge, but on the streets, that claim is facing its toughest test yet. Even as international observers continue to urge calm and dialogue, the African Union is yet to issue a formal statement on the alleged coup attempt. Finiko Watch, KTN.
Now compare the similarities between what happened in Madagascar and what happened in Nigeria. The APC, Tinubu and Muhammadu Buhari came to power through virtually the same thing because they led a massive protest that shut down this country for several days to protest the petroleum subsidy removal. 10 years after, petrol price has gone up more than 5 times, and the same people that campaigned against petrol subsidy removal already removed that petroleum subsidy. They've also plunged millions more Nigerians into poverty, as at the latest count, the World Bank said that 139 million Nigerians are now living in absolute poverty. Despite the massive poverty they've created, they've passed a new tax law that will take effect from January 2026. And we're going to talk about the GDP that has declined by more than 60%. Many multinationals already left Nigeria's market. They've shut down their businesses in Nigeria. Many businesses are currently struggling because of the reduced GDP and reduced purchasing power. Many things are worse. Nearly everything. There's no metric you can compare today. When you compare it to the metrics of 2015, all of them are in the negative. So there is no wonder that Nigerians are also agitated against the government. They've taken away their lives. Do you understand what it means that your savings have been wiped off? Consider this, that you used to have about 3.5 million naira in your savings account. Whatever type of savings account it is, whether a personal savings account or pension savings account, whatever, you have 3.5 million naira at a time, maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, when the exchange rate was about 350 naira to $1. Compare that to today, and assuming that that savings account has grown to about, let's say, 7 million naira, that's double the amount it used to be about 5 or 6 years ago. Now, do you know that despite the fact that the savings doubled to 7 million naira, that is still not up to the equivalent amount in dollars that you would have gotten 5 or 6 years ago? Let's do the numbers. At that time, you had that savings of 3.5 million naira. The exchange rate of about 350 naira to $1 amounted to $10,000. Today, the exchange rate is 1,500 naira to $1. and you have 7 million naira in your account, that 7 million naira is not even up to $10,000. Can you imagine? Double the amount you used to have. It's unimaginable that 3.5 million naira of about 5 or 6 years ago is now equivalent to 15 million naira as of today. There is no country where this will happen that there will not be a massive uprising. That is the reality. How can 7 million naira that should have exchanged for about $20,000 a few years ago is now worth only $4,600? It does not make any sense. When Nigerians say that their savings have been wiped off, this is what it means. Many workers continue to save into their pensions so as to build a home when they retire. What is going to happen to all these retirees now when they've lost nearly more than 60% of the value of their savings? It has never made any sense. This is why many people are being plunged into poverty on a daily basis. Nigerians have no reason to be in poverty when you consider the massive natural resources and human resources. So all Nigerians are asking for is good governance. Let there be compassion from their leaders. You cannot be looking down on Nigerians and telling them that they've been living a false life all these years, they've been doing this is the reality, This is sheer arrogance. Yes, you can't continue to feel that you love Nigeria more than others. There's no way to measure it. Is it the fault of Nigerians that politicians and economic managers mismanaged the economy and stole billions of dollars from the treasury? It's not the fault of Nigerians. Nigerians are just working hard and trying to do their thing. But a new government comes to power and starts telling them, you've been living a false life, this is the real value of the naira, this is that. This is why Nigeria is in absolute poverty. Millions more will be plunged into poverty. This is the reason insecurity is increasing in Nigeria, because the more people are plunged into poverty, the more they resort to criminalities in order to survive. Yes, and there is still the new tax that is going to take effect from January 2026. Who are the people that are going to pay these taxes? When many multinationals already left the Nigerian market, they are the ones that used to provide jobs for thousands of Nigerians. These workers also used to pay taxes. Today they are no longer in jobs, they are unemployed. So you can see that all these policies actually reduce the potential tax Nigerian government would have earned. Instead of increasing the tax, it reduced it. Now they want to tax the remaining rich people, thereby reducing the size of the economy. We are supposed to be more than 200 million people in population. But in reality, our market now is about 50 or 40 million people. So when a company is considering where to set up shop, he will be looking at Nigeria and comparing Nigerian market with another African market where they have about 50 million people who can be able to afford their products. Yes, there's no way 139 million people who are in poverty can afford a product that a company is going to produce in Nigeria. These are the realities. Forget about their narrative. They're always trying to tell you that the economy is growing, is stabilizing, is that, is this. No, the reality remains that they have plunged Nigeria into massive poverty, diminished our purchasing power, reduced our GDP by more than 60%. There is no way this is growth. This is regression. Thanks for watching.